Hey YouTube, PD Twofinger here, and I'm remaking this video because I didn't like the way the first version turned out. Well, I'm here today to talk about something that I feel is often overlooked with pet owners, and this is when you have a cat and it's crying. You fed it, you gave it treats, its litter box is clean, and all of a sudden, you're settled in, you're doing your email, or you're watching a movie, and then the thing just starts crying. Well, one thing you can do that solves this problem, it's kind of a kitty cure-all, is hunt and pounce play. So this is a stick toy. It has fishies, so you can do the fishing. This is a homemade. You don't need to buy anything really fancy. This is a stuffed thing. We have a little mousy guy here who's seen better days, and a sturdy piece of string, and on the other end is a mini monkey. You have the monkey kind of act as a human role, though there's a washer on the end of this, a metal washer. That's another thing that I like to implement is something for you to hold on the other end. Oftentimes I will use something like a piece of elastic. This is Mr. Ratty. He's expensive, like a $3 rat toy, and it has a string with a elastic ring that I put on my finger, and then I can. So the best toys are these, what I call Mr. Squirmels, and this is a short one. You get these a 6-pack of these for $1.99 on eBay, and they go nuts for these Mr. Squirmels. This is the best toy, but they will destroy them. As you can see, this one's missing some stuff. Here's one that saw better days. It's a hair tie, like a little girl's hair tie, and then this is what's left of the Squirmels. Is that here's some purple fuzz that was. So all of this stuff is kind of like this container. This is from Goodwill. It's like something for nursing mothers that I picked up. This is a little fishing toy that had a hook, and me and Gusti used to play fishy with this. Then I ended up putting the Squirmels on here, but any kind of fishing pole works really good for this. If you can get a shorter, like not a ridiculously one because you're in the house, or just use half of it. Just use the second half. Any type of thing where you can have a string and whip it over there and pull it back. So feathers work really well. They really love feathers because that's a natural thing. That's something that they will not just generally perceive as being an artificial thing. It'll catch their interest a lot more. Laser pointers work really well. So again, this is something. If you don't know why your cat's crying, it's because we take these animals. They're the most efficient killers. They're better than lions or tigers. They did a study. And they've got this drive in them to hunt and kill so they can survive. And we just come in and here you go. It's all the food you want, and sleep over here. We change your litter box, and they start falling into that habit, but they still have this weird instinct. So it's like me or you, if you didn't pay your taxes, you're gonna have this thing nagging in the back of your mind where you know something's out. You got to take care of that thing. You don't know what it is, and so this is why they freak out. This is why they cry. And people are like, I don't understand. He didn't do it before. Well, are you paying attention? Did the seasons change? Did it go from cold to hot? Did it go from hot to cold? Because that's a thing with them. They'll start sleeping more. They'll get goofy. They'll cry more. They get the shedding where there's a tool called a Furminator, which you can order those. So yeah, these are my stuff you can get. Get some string, get a big spool of kite string or whatever you want, fishing line, twine is kind of thick. Thread works well. Fishing pole or sticks. You can go to the dollar store and get little mice toys. That's a good place to start. eBay has dollar what do you call them, laser pointers. Get some of those. You get some nice laser pointers, not the ones that use the big 18650 lithium ion battery, but you want a laser pointer that runs off a single AAA battery. Those are still safe. So you get a couple laser pointers. They really like the red color laser pointer. The other colors, they don't respond as well. So you can get a big tub of catnip or whatever, you know, you can get a good amount for just like $2-3 on eBay. And that's a last minute thing, like, or last resort, when he's like 3 in the morning and they won't leave you alone, and you played with them and you got to get them to fall asleep so you can go to work. You use a half a teaspoon of catnip and they eat that. And if they are affected by it, because there's a percentage of them that don't get affected by catnip, that will make the cat sleep. There's something called Rescue Remedy. It costs $10 for a little bottle, eyedropper. That's natural stuff. It's not chemicals. People are like, chemicals. This is what you call Fellaway, and this is hormones, cat hormones, and this sprays to make them calm in the house. And like I said, I mean, he's settled in. He doesn't have any issues. But my wife started working a second job because I herniated discs and I'm in chronic pain, which makes it difficult for me even to walk. So I'm here stuck on this couch for 10 years. And, you know, this cat that we have now, he didn't bond with me. He bonded with my wife. And then she started working a second job, so he's crying now. He misses her. So what I'll do is I will get these toys out and put on the little monkey show, get the Mr. Squirrels going, and distract him for 15 minutes. Because no matter how much they appear to hate you or they don't want to have anything to do with you, when you pull something like this out and start jerking it around the floor, they will play. They will play. They can't help themselves. So this is a huge, important thing that I think is overlooked. Oftentimes, if you're in a family, you're younger family, and you have the adults, and then the children are supplying those needs of that kind of wild rumpus. If you're not doing this, you'll notice an hour or so before you shut the lights out and go to bed, they will all of a sudden just be like, now's my crazy time. Or maybe it's a couple hours after you go to sleep. Maybe it's 3 in the morning. All of a sudden they're like complete, running around, like climbing the walls. And that's because we have tried to domesticate this perfect killing machine that has this internal built-in instinct that it's got to hunt, it's got to pounce, it's got to kill. So how do we know when we need to do this hunt and pounce game? Well, if he's crying, you'll know if you pay attention, you care about him. And again, animals that are outdoor pets, they're not going to suffer from this. This is only really for an indoor cat. So yeah, like when the seasons change, they get real long hair. That Furminator, that's like a rake comb, that works really well. Picking up some, good amount of catnip is a good idea. That Rescue Remedy's $10. This here Fellaway is expensive. This is like $50 or something, $30 a bottle. I got 6 bottles of it for $1 each at Goodwill, and a big spray bottle for $1. So that worked out well for me. But all this other stuff, like these type of guys, we get this 50 cents at the resale store. And then, you can just have a washer on the other end. And if you're keeping, like not having one thing, like there's this one toy you always play with, having a bunch of them and rotating them, it's going to really keep the interest level up. So this is something that I find that works really well to stop the cry baby syndrome. And that'll happen always when you've settled in, you want to relax and watch that movie. All of a sudden, that means you haven't done your job. You need to pause the movie and have some hunt and pounce play. Good 10-minute session of that. You should be doing this on a regular basis. You can kind of read them and know when they're going to act up, what time, and head them off with that. or as soon as they start showing signs like they're going to do that, get your little stuffed mouse out and drag it around. There are these blue stuffed mice that they sell at the dollar store where you pull the tail and they go. Brrr. Those are the powder blue one. He loves that thing. He'll jackrabbit it with his feet. And they have some like stick type toys. The ones that I would recommend more than the others are the ones that have feathers, because that's a natural thing, and it's just gonna like light them up. Like when they see that, they're really gonna want to go after it. So it's a very fun thing to do, is make your own. Like if you have some old baby booty or whatever, fine cloth, take some cotton, make that into a ball, and then throw some catnip in it. You can put some sprays. They have different sprays for them. And then, catnip spray, put some real catnip in it, and then sew that up. I made this toy that it almost looked like a candy, It was fabric with cotton in it, and that was Gusty's favorite toy. He loved that toy. He loved it. So I've heard people say bottle caps. You put a hole in a bottle cap and put a string on it, and they'll go nuts for that. So again, you don't necessarily have to go on eBay, but if you can afford it, it's nice to order this stuff and have it surprise you in the mail. And then when you have a quiet, content little beast that loves you with all of his heart, it's worth it. All right, you guys. Peace and enjoy.